stagnation in the marketplace is often caused by complacency. Most people have the opportunity to do more and in their lives, in their careers, in their schooling, in their learning. But we fail to tap into that untapped potential. A very easy place to see this in action is in a salesperson sales activity. I started out as a sales guy. I've been a sales manager. I've trained a bunch of salespeople, and it's kind of a hilarious thing that tends to happen to sales folks. It's that our success actually leads to our ultimate destruction in the selling cycle. So a new salesperson will work to prospect new clients, and they do it with great vigor. So they come into a brand new position as a salesperson, and they work, and then all of a sudden they start to see some success. So a few contracts will start to flicker in, and then all of a sudden, all of that work they did a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago hits. And all of a sudden, contract after contract, sale after sale after sale starts to come in, and it's like the floodgates open up. And the salesperson gets rolling in commission. It becomes very easy to get complacent at that point. And eventually, the sales dry up, right? So to compensate, this salesperson will have to work even harder now to refill that sales pipeline. And it's this constant ebb and flow of success and failure within a sales cycle or a salesperson sales cycle. Now, although the sales cycle example is obvious from the outside looking in, many of us have similar situations in our own careers as well. For instance, in the early days of the Leaders Institute, when I first started the company, I spent a ton of time working on publishing great content on my websites. And basically, I was doing that in order to get, number one, people to read the website. So if there's good content out there, then people will read it. But what happened is that the more great content that I put up on the website, the more other companies or other websites would actually link to my content, which basically drove the organic search engine stuff. So basically, we moved up to the top of Google fairly, well, I wouldn't say quickly, but it took a couple of years. But within the first couple of years, we were up in a lot of the keywords that we were targeting. We were up at a very high level of search engine rankings. So it was very easy to kind of market ourselves. We didn't have to spend a ton of money on marketing just because we had good content that people were really interested in, right? So what happened though was we put in years and years and years of work, and then we got to the point where we were at the top of the the number one spot for dozens and dozens of keywords, and then we kind of slowed down because all of that work that we put in, because of all that work anyway that we put in through those couple of years, that we stayed up in that top number one spot for years. And then all of a sudden, we started to drop down, and it took us years to get back. So basically, it's a whole lot easier to stay at the top than it is to get to the top, right? So we had to go back and do a ton of additional work to try to regain that spot that we had before. So what happens is that when we get to those levels of success, a lot of times we'll get fairly complacent, and when we do, we kind of stop doing those things that helped us become successful. So the lesson here is that when you accomplish a tough goal, you always want to set a more challenging goal right away, and if you do that, you'll continue to grow and to really tap into some of that untapped potential.